Hello everyone. So today we do a yin practice for the upper body, and I decided to do this not just because I thought it's very helpful in these times to focus also on the upper body with some yin, also because I got a lot of requests from you, from those of you who have practiced with me before somewhere in the world. And it turns out that sequence we're going to do today is everyone's favorite when it comes to yin. And so before we start, just a few words on what we're going to do today and why. So for today we focus on the upper body, so it means we start with there might be some sensations from the fingers all the way from the palm, the inner arms, up to the chest. Sometimes you can feel it on the back as well. And so in terms of yin, when it comes to the Taoists, they separate the body into yin and yang. And mostly what we're most familiar with is that the left side is the yin side and the right side of the body is the yang side. So yin, more feminine, right, more masculine. But also, which maybe most people are less familiar with, is that the lower body, from the waistline down to the toes, is mostly associated with yin, while the upper body, from the waistline up to our head, and all the way into the fingers, from our arms to the fingers, is seen as yang. So this part of the body we are more active with. And also we spend so much time in our heads. And especially these days with coronavirus, the uncertainty of what will be and all kinds of things. So even without that, we spend so much time already in our heads, and now it's probably even more. And so just from that part, it might be a nice relief to let go of that for a little bit, at least for an hour, or maybe a little bit more or less. But also what's so nice about this sequence is, as usually we spend so much time on stretching the lower body, the legs, but when we think of our modern life, everything we do, we're spending so much time on our electronic devices, if it's the computer, if it's the iPad, smartphone, whatever, hunched over typing, so getting around here. If you have sitting in the office, maybe you have a phone here. So actually bringing loads of tension in this body, even just if it's just driving a car, just all the actions going to the front. And also these areas here, very famous for carrying stress and tension. So even in a normal, so what's normal these days, right? So thinking about these kind of things, even then, this is very famous to carry stress and tension. And I thought just to give this part of the body a relief. So this is what we focus on. And also, as most of you know me from some surf camps around the world, what we do today, it became, I think, everyone's favorite, because after spending a day out in the sea paddling for the waves, so these are the joints, the muscle that we use the most when we're trying to paddle in, popping up and stuff. So this will be just addressing the whole upper body. It might be some twists, so the spine is involved as well. So hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. And we start in child's pose. And you will see me checking my watch every now and then. I have it placed over there. It's not that I'm bored, it's just making sure that I have an eye on the time. Because for those of you who practiced with me before, you know sometimes I have the tendency to speak a lot. So sometimes I might keep you a bit longer in the pause maybe. But yeah, so we will work with 5 minutes for the yin poses today, and later I will talk about it a little bit more, but just before we go into child's pose, and maybe you're already in child's pose, the reason why we hold the poses for 5 minutes is just after 4 minutes in the pose, in terms of yin, we're trying to relax the body and sink into the deep tissues, to gently pulling our bones apart and just really getting to the cold tissues that we address with the yin practice, that's the time when they start to respond and allow themselves to open up. So everything that's less than 4 minutes actually doesn't bring us to the part where we want to get. All right, so we don't need a warm up. So we just have a little bit in child's pose. Oh, sorry, so maybe since you practice at home, and if you have anything like a block, just a yoga block, 2 of them maybe back at home. If you don't, you can grab a book, maybe one of the bigger ones, but I know books getting obsolete these days. So if you find you ever have all your readings on an electronic device, so maybe you have some old DVDs and just pile them up. So you don't. If you choose that one, maybe have a blanket or a towel so you don't feel sharp edges later when we use them under the back. What you also can use is a pillow that maybe is kind of that thick, so you just not too squishy. Or if you have magazines or something, so it's something that lifts you up later. So just trying to get up to a height of maybe something between 10-15 centimeters. But if you don't worry about it. So this is just a little extra. It might feel nice, but be creative on what you can use as a yoga prop from your home. But I'm pretty sure you all have a pile of pillows and getting comfortable with the last pose. Alright, so now we start. Now it's child's pose. And so find a comfortable position. I like always to have my knees wider to the side, so when I lean forward there's space for my rib cage. And I have my arms preferably next to my body, fingertips pointing to the back. And usually I have my foot on the ground, but I think for the sound it's better I turn my head to the side. And then I close my eyes. If you feel you want to have your arms out in front of you, or if you're not sure which child's pose is the most comfortable for you, take your time to play around. Arms can be out to the front, head resting down. If you have your arms out to the front, make sure you have a gentle bend in your elbows so you can relax from the shoulders, your fingers soft. Relax your neck. But I know there's also people when they come into child's pose and they lean forward, the head is always floating above the ground, and that can be quite strenuous on the back. So I really want you to find a comfortable pose where you can relax in. So if you feel your head is floating, maybe use one of your props already, the block or the pillow. But you can also use your hands as a pillow. So you just fold your hands on top of each other, or making the fist a bit higher, and then rest your foot on your hands and relax. And as an yin, we're trying to stick with our natural breath. So there's no need to use any of the breathing techniques you might meet in a yang class. But at the same time, sometimes it can actually help to do big exhale, really conscious breath in the yin as well, to let go. So more essential actually is that you try to relax into the yoga mode, and you will see that you instinctively find the right breath for each pose. And as you're here in your child's pose, let your body drop into your yoga mode. Shift everything around you aside. This is a time you dedicate to yourself. There's no need to worry about what's going on in the world right now. It's gonna happen in an hour time away, or what had happened so far this day. So allow yourself to put the world on pause so you can connect with yourself. And everything we're going to do today is optional. So you don't have to do anything of what I offer you. So hear me first and then decide if that is actually a pose that might be suitable on your body. Because each time we come onto a yoga mat, our body is different. We feel differently. So please acknowledge all the sensations in your body and act accordingly. So sometimes you might feel more open, more flexible. Sometimes you feel more restricted. And whatever you experience, that is absolutely fine. There's no need to change or force yourself into anything that might look like the right way, because there's only one right way, and that's the one that feels good on your body. So from here we will slowly start moving into our first official yin pose. And from here we start by bringing our arms out in front of you. If you have your arms not yet out in front of you, bring your arms out in front of you. Stretch the fingers. Lift maybe your hands, the palms off the ground, and then replace your hands back to the ground, and then lift the chest off the ground and walk your hands out in front of you. So you lift your hips off the ground, lifting your hips away from your heels, and then walk your hands out in front of you and let your chest sink towards the ground. And I know for some of it stops right here, so there's no way to get the chest all the way to the ground. For some of us, they're comfortably by really dropping the chest to the ground. So first of all, you're trying to find a comfortable position for your knees. And here, in my opinion, it's really helpful to open the knees out to the side so you're not directly on the sharp edges of your kneecaps. So really take a few moments to play around. And if you find it's too intense by holding the chest up because your upper body is floating, then grab a pillow and you can place the pillow under your chest. You can come onto your forearms actually and lean your head into your hands. So that might be the first option to make friends with this pose if you've never done this before. If you're okay with your forearms on the ground and also feeling that your chest can sink to the floor, and then you rest your chin on the floor as well. You can turn your head to the left or to the right. And then try to relax into the pose. So maybe some of you have done that before in a Yang class. In the Yang class, whatever style it might be, we call it often the puppy pose. In Yin we call this the melting heart, and as you see this now, it probably makes sense. So you're trying to let your heart area melting into the ground. Trying to keep your hips up. And then find a comfortable width from your arms. So your arms can be open shoulder distance apart. You can bring your palms together. Some like to bend the arms and bring your hands into prayer pose. So what you do with your arms is absolutely optional. Make sure that you find a position where you can breathe. And then stay here with your natural breath and allow your body to open up into the pose. And instead of going 100% of the pose, find maybe the position where you give 50 to 70%, because the longer you're in the pose, you find your body opens up. And the longer you're in the pose and your tissues respond to this long hold, you find that you slowly by slowly sink deeper into the pose. And then by the end, you will probably look differently from the way you started the pose. And as you hold this pose, I would just come up just to explain something, because this is quite common and I get asked this a lot when I teach this in classes. What people often experience here is that the arms, the fingers getting numb with the extension here, where the compression here can happen, that the tissues of the muscles pinching into the nerves, and that gives you this tingling sensation like needles and pins. And that is nothing to be worried about. So usually this is just something happens for a short period while you're in the pose, and then when we come out of it in a bit, this sensation will leave. So only if you find that this weird sensation lingers in your body for several hours after the practice, then I would suggest check in with your doctor. But usually this is just a normal sensation as we're trying to stimulate the chi flow in the body, and with this very unusual position for our upper body, it takes some time to find the right pose, but with less likely to get this sensation. But in general, this is nothing that causes you any damage in the body. So from here, our last 90 seconds. So maybe it's a bit less, maybe a bit more. So there's no need to be too analytic about this. It's a few seconds more, a few seconds less. There's no harm about it. You can always exit a pose early if you find you hit your max already. So from here, we're making our way out of this pose. We'll take only a short rebound before we go to the next pose. So to come out of this pose, you start to engage your muscles again. Squeeze into your palms, into your forearms. Use your elbows. Lift the chest off the ground. And you might find after this long yin hold that your muscles don't respond as quickly as you maybe would like them to respond to get out of this pose. So this is actually a very common sensation. And then step your legs back, set the knees down, roll your belly down, and come onto your belly. Open your legs so comfortable with, maybe shaking your hips. Gently sway them from side to side. Relax your arms. So this is a little rebound. The rebound is the pose between the poses, where we try to feel the effect of the previous pose. Trying to feel the chi movement in the body. Chi, the life force that we're trying to stimulate with the yin. So maybe you can now, as you relax your arms and your upper body to the ground, feel some warmth or some tingling somewhere from the fingers, maybe in your shoulders. And I will give you one more minute, almost a minute here, before we start with the next pose. And also why I thought that we're going to do this practice today, as this upper body yin practice stimulates the meridians in our fingers and arms. Well, actually the whole body, but here we have the meridians of the heart and lung area as well. And they actually activate and have positive impact on our immunity system. And right now with this coronavirus, I thought it might be actually a little extra to stimulate our immunity system, strengthening our lungs with this practice. It's like a little extra. So starting to move your fingers now. And we swing the hips, and now we shift to the next pose. So you stay on your belly and you open your left arm out to the side in a 90-degree angle. And we start with the left side first, which is the yin side. Because usually in the active styles of yoga we started with the right. And for today I thought it's nice to open the sequence with the yin side. So open your left arm out to the side and start with a 90-degree angle, palms facing down. And have your right hand next to your chest on the ground. So you push your right hand into the floor, and then you start to bend your right leg and you roll over to the left side. And you place your right foot maybe behind you, behind your left leg on the ground. And for some of you it's okay to drop your head down to the floor. If you like and you want to use a pillow or the block, you can grab the block, rest your head on. You can have your right arm in front of you on the floor. And I know some people like you to have both legs straight, but open. So you have your legs kind of like the blades of a scissor. And then see how this pose feels on your left shoulder joint. If you find this is already too much, and I will just come up to show you. If you find by having your arm in this position that the pressure here is already too much, what you can do is you can slide your your left arm further down towards the hip. If you find you're very open in this area and also your shoulder joint allows this movement, you can bring the arm further up. So this is something where you have to decide for yourself how high you have to position your left arm, or later also the right arm. So from here, with your arm out to the side, take your time to find the position for your leg, your free leg, the right leg, and then also feel free to play with your free right arm. So it could be on the ground in front of you. You can place it by your hip, closer to the sacrum, and then try to relax. So stay with your natural breath. Just observe the sensations of how this pose feels on your body. And again, really take your time. There's no need to go to the 100% version of this pose straight away. As you know, you have 5 minutes. And keep that inner dialogue with yourself active. So listen to what your body, your sensations are telling you of how to adjust the pose to suit you. So it's not about causing you any pain. So not in yang, and especially not in yin. You don't want to cause your body any pain, and you don't want to surrender into pain. Try to find a sweet spot where you can relax as good as possible. Because with all the yin poses, we always challenge the body, so there always should be a sensation. For some of us it's more minute, and for some of us it's just overwhelming that we just constantly thinking about leaving this pose. And that's actually quite normal that you get all different kinds of thoughts while you in a yin pose. So for this last little bit, before we come out, I just want you to also just feel into your fingertips of your left hand. Maybe you can feel a tingling starting from the fingertips of your pinky or your thumb, towards the shoulder. And then from here we slowly prepare the body to come out of this pose. Bring your right arm, if it's somewhere behind your back, to the floor in front of your chest. And then take your time and really go slow with control. And roll back onto your belly. Relax both legs down to the ground. Come into the rebound. Rest your head down. Maybe you keep your left arm out to the side, or you slide it in. Maybe you want to turn the left palm to face the ceiling. Find a comfortable position for both arms. And if you like, close your eyes. And then try to feel the difference from your left to the right side. Feel the difference from the left fingertips to the right fingertips. Is there a different temperature you can feel in both of your arms? Where can you feel the pose now? Is it the front of your body or the back of your body? I often like to call this the stardust moving through the body. With strange tingling sensation that's hard to name. And then start to move from your fingers, move your wrists, maybe moving the shoulders, move the upper body, sway your hips from side to side to help the body to move this fresh energy to move through your body. And we stay with the left side, and I will just, you can stay as you are. I just move my position so you can see the pose a little bit better. So just go to the other side of my yoga mat. So we stay with the left arm, and as a transition we come into Sphinx pose. So you bring your forearms onto the ground. You can't see my forearms now a little bit. And we use the left arm. So you slide your right arm out in front of you. So lift the right elbow off the ground. And with your left arm, you're doing the threading the needle. So you turn the left palm up to face the ceiling, and then slide your left arm out to the side. And then crawl your fingers out in front of you. Relax your bum. And then rest your head, your forehead down to the ground. And again, as you get 5 minutes, take your time. First, as you're trying to sink into the pose, try to soften your muscles. You're trying to sink beyond the muscle tissue with these poses. And here, if you have your left palm facing the ceiling, let your palm relax. So your fingers crawl into the natural, relaxed pose of your hand. So now, in the pose before, we were stressing the soft part of the arm. And now we're bringing the stress to the outside of your upper arm. And I know for some people this pose is hard to feel, and they may even fall asleep. And if you find that you fall asleep in the yin pose, in my opinion, just go with it, because that's what your body needs. I know other people, other teachers will tell you differently, but I actually think if you can relax in this pose that you actually fall asleep, it can't be bad for you. And if you find it's too much, as always, be creative. Use any option with your free arm to support your head. If it's too much of a force for your head to sink to the floor. And then try to feel what's happening on the left side. Try to think about the yin qualities. Such as intuition, emotion, creativity, softness. So a society is so much driven with yang qualities, competition. We actually taught ourselves to suppress the yin qualities. And we think there's only negatives about it, but there's so much good about the yin, and we need to complement the yang to be in balance. So here in your practice, in your yin practice, really let go of controlling and let intuition guide you. Like a child, find your way into the pose. There's no judgment. And as we allow to give space to the yin, you might be surprised that there's some emotions, memories popping up for you. Something you thought of maybe you already years ago made peace with, but it's still stuck somewhere in your body. And use these poses to create space in your body, mentally and physically. Let go of everything that's not serving you any longer. Make space for new beginnings. And then slowly prepare yourself to come out of this pose. And with no rush, giving your body time to activate the muscles to slide out of this pose, and bring your free right arm somewhere under, maybe a little bit extended out to the side, away from the right shoulder, and squeeze your right palm into the floor. Engage the muscles of your upper body, your legs, and release your left arm again. Lower your chest down. Relax your right arm. Close your eyes again. And again, with your eyes closed, try to feel the rebound. Again, feel the difference from the left to the right side. Where on the left side can you feel the pose now? You feel it in the back, the upper back, the thoracic. Maybe you can feel it all the way down to the soles of your feet. Now the rebound can be quite tricky for us, because we are so trained to feel the burning sensations when we work out, when we work hard. And with the rebound, we try to do the opposite, trying to listen very closely to the whisper of our body. So if you feel kind of a fidgety energy, the urge to move in the rebound, then by all means, go with it. Just shake that off. Do some movements and come back to stillness. But at the same time, I know there's some of us, they're natural rebounders. And they instantly fall into this kind of a mini shavasana, into this space between being awake and asleep. Just this pure bliss, being lost in the space. Unfortunately, it's time to come back. So start to move your fingers, move your palms. Maybe again swing the hips. If you like, you can bend your legs and do this windshield wiper movement with your legs, even though we're focusing on the upper body. Bringing some stimulation into the spine. And then lower your legs down and move in your own pace, your own rhythm. We're now shifting to the second side. So now it's time that we move to the right side. So from here you can stay here and just slide your right arm out to the side, starting with a 90-degree angle again from your shoulder. Placing your left hand somewhere under the left shoulder, and we're now moving into the yang side. And then you roll to the right side. Maybe on this side again you want to bend your free leg and place the left foot behind you, so the left knee is pointing up to the ceiling. You can use your left hand as a pillow for your head. You can slide your left leg out towards straight, to your version of straight. And then take the next few moments to feel if the position of your right arm feels okay on your body. Or if you need to make an adjustment, maybe walking the hand down towards your hip. Or if you want to crawl the hand up a little bit more up towards your head. And if you're not sure, you can actually just play around, and you can always come back, so it's never a dead end road if you decided to switch and change. If you find, and we can only find out if we play with the options, and then come back to the position that felt the most comfortable for you. And you know you can always change. You have 5 minutes to do adjustment. But when you found the pose, try to be still and observe. Listen to your body and try to relax the muscles of your left arm. Close your eyes. And I really encourage you to close your eyes in this practice, so you can really drop into intuition. Let your feelings guide you to find your pose instead of seeing the pose with all the connotations of what we learned is maybe a correct pose. You know the best pose for you. And then try to feel into the fingertips of your right hand. Try to remember how this pose felt on the first side, on the yin side. And how does the pose feel now as we focus on the yang side of the body? Is there different thoughts, different emotions? So now a demanding, controlling, planning society, competition. There's so much yang around us. We often think more is better. Only if I feel the pain, then I'm doing it correctly. But in yin, you're trying to find the opposite. Be gentle on yourself and use the pose to heal your body and not forcing your body. But at any point you can use your exhales to let go. And again, you can linger to the thoughts that might arise for you. It's a process of letting go. There's no need to analyze what is coming up for you. Instead, try to see the thoughts like the clouds in the sky passing by. Interesting to see them come and go. And there's no need to hold on to what you see. Really give your time, give your body the space to let go. And then slowly prepare yourself to come out of this pose. If you have your left arm somewhere behind you, bring it back to the ground in front of you. Place your left hand on the floor. And with control, slowly engage the muscles, and then with control, rolling back onto the belly into a mini rebound. There will be a big rebound at the end. And again, so here resting on your belly, with both arms relaxed. Maybe your right arm still extended, or you bring it closer to your body. And then try to feel the effects of the previous pose. Again, remember how it felt when you came out of the first side. And now that you've been working the same pose on both arms, how do you feel? There is tingling in your right palm. Can you feel this somewhere in the upper arm, maybe the shoulders? Some of you might feel this all the way down to your legs. For some of us, there's nothing we can feel right now, or we think we don't feel anything. But there's definitely something happening right now. We just need to give ourselves time to learn to hear this soft voice of our body again. Again, feel free to do any movement if you need to work off some fidgetiness. And then we shift sides. So gently, for this moment, say goodbye to the rebound. Move your fingers. Move your hands. Move from your hips, maybe the legs, and then slide your hands back to the front, come onto your forearms. And we will use the Sphinx pose as a transition. So having the forearms on the ground, and then you slide your left arm out in front of you, so the left elbow lifts off the ground. Your lower back soft, so I recommend to have the legs in a comfortable width, so there's hopefully less to no pressure in the lower back. And then threading the needle, so you turn the right palm up and slide your right arm out to the side, and then walk the left arm out in front of you, soften your butt cheeks and rest your head down. Relax your belly. You can use your pillow or your block to rest your forehead on if you feel that your neck is not long enough, so that you can comfortably rest your head down. But maybe you're somewhere in between and you know, and you felt this before, so you know by now that your body is changing, your body is responding to this long hold. So maybe you start with a prop under your forehead, and then after a while, if you feel the tissues of your body responded to this long hold, just shift that aside. And again, you try to relax your right palm up to the ceiling. Let your right fingers crawl up to their relaxed position. And again, you decide if you need to slide the right arm a little bit higher, or you need to bring it a little bit lower. And then try to feel the difference again now on the right side compared to the left side. You know, for most of us, the right side is our dominant side. We do, even though if handwriting is getting obsolete these days, you know, if you grab a pen, if you write with the right or with the left, or if you brush your teeth with the right or with the left. So depending on which side is your dominant side, try to feel the difference, this pose to the previous pose, the first side. And again, try to soften the muscles. So these long holds can address tendons and ligaments that support our shoulder joint. But as our upper body, our arms, they're not big fans of these long holds. So maybe you realize that even though you gave yourself permission to relax the muscles, you find that your muscles tensing up again. And then maybe with a big exhale through your mouth, let go and feel the difference again. Feel the muscles of your upper arm relax. And observe your thoughts, your emotions, and allow yourself to let go. There's no need to hold on to the tension, whether emotionally or physically. Allow yourself to let go.
just one last little bit. You slowly start to bring your awareness back, to waken up your body, to prepare your body to come out of this pose, to exit this position by sliding your left hand to the left side of your yoga mat, somewhere under. You're further away from the left shoulder. Squeeze your left hand into the ground. Lift your chest. And maybe with a big yawn, release your right arm out to the side again. Relax both of your arms. Turn your head to the left or to the right. Relax the bum. And feel the rebound. What always amazes me about this sequence when you work on the upper body, bringing the yin into the yang. This is quite stressful for the mind. You realize how quiet you become even though you're putting your body into this stressful situation. And you can tell that from your heart rate and your breath rate. Even though you're forcing so much stress on your shoulder joints, your heart rate, the stimulation of the heart meridian beats in a very relaxed rhythm, just represented by the slow, relaxed breath right from your nose or mouth, and proving that the yin is working on your body. And then from here, let's come out of the rebound, moving your fingers, swaying your hips from side to side. Bend your legs. Sway your legs from side to side. There's a windshield viper movement in your own rhythm. Some of us go faster, some slower. Go in your own rhythm. Lower your legs down. It's always about you. It's your body, your yoga. And then slide your hands next to your chest again, under the shoulders. And then let's slide into a child's pose. Push your hands into the ground, use your knees, and then send your hips to your heels. A little pause here in child's pose. And child's pose is just a transition pose for us to move into our last yin pose of this sequence. So before we move on, try to feel into your spine, from your shoulders all the way down to the tailbone. Relax your shoulders. Feel from your shoulders down into the fingertips. Try to feel the movement of energy in your arms. And then slide your hands to the ground. Roll your chest up, coming to sitting. And now this is the time where we grab our blocks, or the pillows, or whatever you have available for you at home. So it could also be, if you have old magazines or newspapers, you can use a stack of magazines or newspapers, just pile them up. It
because we're gonna lay down on our back. And so I will show you in a moment how to position the blocks or your props on your mat. So just for you to know where you want to have the props behind you. So you want to have the block somewhere here by your shoulder blades. And you can have them in this angle or you can have them that way. And this is something you have to decide for yourself. The only thing you're trying to make sure that you have space here from your neck, because when you let your head drop back, that whatever prop you use, there's no edge pinching into your cervical, into the back of your neck. And some of us, when we drop our head back, the head is floating, or they maybe touch the ground, but it's too much stress for the front of the neck. Then use maybe another block, if you have a second block available, or maybe you have more DVDs you can use. Maybe the toilet paper roll that you have at home in this corona times, or a pillow. And then you place the blocks or your props kind of in a T shape. So you have them either this way, that way, on your yoga mat. And I would actually suggest, because we're going to hold this pose for at least, probably a bit longer than 5 minutes. And now it's super tempting to go the highest level, but try to play with the inside. You might be surprised how good it feels if you don't pile it up too high. So you use the block, so maximum the medium level, so this is definitely the highest I would go. So then from here, for this last little bit, you sit in front of the block, so you have it kind of, let's say, almost 30 centimeters space to your tailbone, and then hold on to your prop, because you want to place the block between the shoulder blades, and then you roll down. If you find as you roll down, no, this is actually too high, just come to the low level, roll down. And then here it's nice to use the other block as a pillow. And then let the weight of your head sink into the block. You see your shoulders are floating. And then open your arms at least in a T shape out to the side. You can have your arms as cactus arms. With a slight bend out to the side, palms facing up. And some of you maybe like to bring your arms up and over your head. And here it's absolutely fine to have your elbows floating, so the elbows don't need to touch the ground. You can also actually hold on to the opposite elbows with your hand. It's a nice way to open up the chest area, soften the belly. Wherever you have your arms, if you're not sure, maybe start with your arms out to the side. Close your eyes. Soft arms. And close your eyes a second time. If you like to play with options for your legs, I know some people, instead of having the legs straight out in front of them, they like to drop the knees out to the side, bringing the soles of your feet together. So this is something you can do as well. I like to have my legs straight on the ground and comfortable with. Relax from your hips down to the toes. Soft belly and soft face. Let your jaw drop open. And then feel into your shoulders. So this pose, with your arms out to the side or up over your head, is pretty much the same as we did in the very beginning with the melting heart pose. So we addressing the same area, but instead of letting the chest sink towards the ground, we're now revealing our heart and chest out to the space. Revealing our most vulnerable part out to the world. Usually we prefer to protect our heart from disappointment, any negative experiences. So as a reaction, we often round our back, roll the shoulders in. And here you really open up your arms, this wide, welcoming gesture. So let yourself drop. Let the weight of your head and upper back sink into the block, into the ground beneath you, and feel how gravity is gently pulling you open. Here you can imagine that you lean maybe into someone, your special someone, you know, the person you can trust the most is holding you. It might help you to relax into this pose. And allow yourself to do any adjustment. Slide your arms into any comfortable width. And allowing your heart and chest to open up. And then once more, try to feel to the sensations from your fingertips. And follow these sensations in your palms, your wrists, your forearms, the eye of the elbow up, the upper arms, your armpits, the shoulders. And feel all the tension melting away from your bones, from your joints. Allow the tendons and ligaments to loosen up for the short time that we're here. Whenever you find that your body is trying to hold against this opening, give yourself permission to let go. At the same time, if your body is asking you to exit the pose early, then always listen to your body. There's no need to surrender in pain. Your body is already ready to go, to leave the pose. And here now, often this is a pose, so actually if you spend time in the office, spending so much hours on the computer keyboard, it's a nice pose you can do without the previous ones as long as you like. So feel free to stay here if you feel you need to hang out a little bit longer. But for the rest of us, we prepare to leave the pose, gently moving from the fingers, the arms, the toes. And then bring your arms next to your body, turn the palms down. Let your knees point the ceiling. And one option is to let the knees point to the ceiling and use your forearms and palms and your core to roll up towards sitting, coming straight up, but you also can roll to the side, coming off your props, and then move your props to the side. Don't need them any longer. And then roll back down into your Shavasana. Your arms and legs in any comfortable width. Maybe you come into a little starfish position, your arms and legs as wide as you like. And then feel this weird sensation in your body and coming out of this previous pose. So now feeling your head, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the thoracic back on the ground. Feel this crazy sensation that one part of your body feels like floating, while the other part of your body feels like a heavy stone sinking to the ground of the sea. But at the same time, your body feels so light, as you're holding on to so much less right now. And then try to feel the rebound again. Bring your awareness to your hands, to your fingers. And follow the sensations, this tingling, energetical movement, the stardust flowing through your body. Just your arms, upper body. Maybe you're feeling so much lighter in your heart space. Rib cage. Maybe you feel this all the way down your belly. From here all the way down to your feet. And then let this rebound carry you away. Let the rebound cradle you into stillness, to this stillness of your Shavasana. And then from here you slowly start to bring your awareness back into your body. Feel your body lying on the ground. Become aware of the space around you. The sounds around you. Feel where your body is touching the floor. The back of your head, your shoulders, your elbows, back of your hands. Feel your hips on the ground. Calf muscles and heels. And then feel into the soles of your feet. Feel your palms. Try to feel your whole body. And then slowly start to deepening your breath again. And as you slowly start to deepen your breath again, start to bring movements back into your body. Move from your fingers and your toes. Circling your ankles and your wrists. Gently bringing movement back into your body. Swaying your legs, the hips. Bring the movement up through your spine to the shoulders. Roll your neck from side to side. On the next inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. Maybe interlace the fingers. Turn the palms away from you. Point the toes, take one full body stretch, make yourself long. Take one big inhale and a big exhale from your mouth, let it go. Relax. You keep your eyes closed. And then maybe think about the people you're missing seeing in person right now. And as you visualize the faces, seeing their smiles, and feel the smile that comes to your face as you see and visualize those faces smiling. I'm also thinking about people suffering in these corona times, either in hospital or healthcare. Maybe people who are alone at home, don't have access to FaceTime or any program that can see your loved ones. So just include them into your thoughts as well, and give them a smile, and then slowly coming out of this, still maybe holding onto the smile on your face, rolling onto the left side of your body, rolling onto the yin side. In the knees, so you just rest your head on one of your arms. And with your left side on the ground, you lift the right part of your body up. So helping the body to leave the yin state and coming slowly back to the more active world around us. And keep your eyes closed and take maybe the next 3 breaths to make a transition into any comfortable upright seated position. And really go in your own pace, move slow, really move slowly. You can sit on your block or your pillow, or just with your legs crossed, with your hands on your knees or in your lap. So trying to soften the space between your eyebrows. And then just one time, lift your shoulders up to your ears and then soften your shoulders down your back. Relax. With your hands and arms and shoulders so sweetly relaxed. Your belly soft. Try to remember how you felt at the very beginning of this class and how you're feeling now. Let's take maybe 3 to 5 more breaths. May you observe the effect of the previous class on your body. And then from here, with your next inhale, you bring your palms together in front of your head into prayer pose. And then gently bow your forward to your fingertips and open your eyes. And with this forward fold, you go down to yourself, paying gratitude to yourself, taking time for yourself and your yoga practice. Thank you for playing along, for joining me for this Yin Yoga practice. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. Namaste, everyone.